Okay, follow me. One, one, two, two, three, three, four, four, five, five, six, six. Second. One, two, three, four, five, six. Last one. One, two, three, four, five, six. All right. Today we're going to learn ancient Chinese art. First of all, let's take a very quick look at some of the ancient Chinese paintings. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. So this is Chinese art, ancient Chinese art. At least some of the paintings. Okay. So definitely this is a landscape. We can see a waterfall. We can see some small houses. This is, we call it technical drawing. Uh, all right, so we call it technical drawing. You see that for the flower, we can see a lot of details. It's every detail is very fine. Lines are fine too. And this is the portrait, a typical Chinese ancient painting. But not all of those are from ancient artists. Some of them are painted recently, but the idea is that all of them are of the same style, the ancient Chinese painting style. Okay, so this is a portrait. Actually, he has a name. He is the sorcery of catching ghosts. I don't know. You see, this is also a landscape, a very big one. We can see the Chinese style is uh is quite obvious. The waterfalls, the mountains, the trees, the sails. Also, among the trees, we see some houses. Okay. This is actually a very old Chinese painting. For different flowers standing for different ideas. Okay, we can see there's no color used, only black and white. We can see all the changement of different values. This is uh, another masterpieces. This is done by a very famous Chinese artist, and those are four portraits. Okay, let's go back. Portraits. We can call it. I think we can call it still life. A landscape. Another portrait. This is technical drawing. Also, we can take that for still life. Another landscape. Okay. So, Olivia or Donald, what do you see is different? What do you see is unique in a Chinese painting? Olivia?
think everything you see is all of the drawings, and the writing of Chinese is kind of different of each art.
Okay, good. That means in almost every drawing, we see some Chinese characters, right?
Yes.
Okay, anything else?
I think that's all.
No, Donald, any idea?
So I think what makes me recognize Chinese paintings is that uh, the strokes seem more natural.
Okay, natural strokes. All right, as we can see, almost every ancient Chinese painting is finished with ink, Chinese ink. We don't see any oil painting. We don't see any acrylic, gouache, just the Chinese ink. All right, that's a very unique thing about Chinese paintings. Let's go back to the screen. I will show you one by one all these different paintings. Let's see what do they have in common. What element that we see almost in every piece of painting. Okay, this is one. This is another. This is another. You see, a large landscape for a still life, for portraits. Just take a look. What is the thing that we can find in almost every painting? You see? Any idea? What do we have in common in every painting? Olivia?
Chinese characters.
Yes, good one. There are four essential elements in almost every piece of Chinese ancient painting. The first one is this one, calligraphy. Okay. They're using some round-headed brush to write Chinese characters. And there are many techniques are involved. And this is a calligraphy. That means they're trying to write down the Chinese characters the best way they can manage to get. Okay, so this is calligraphy. The first thing that we can find in almost every piece of Chinese painting. The second thing is this one on this corner or at this corner. Uh, in most Chinese paintings, we also see a poem or poems. The poems are used to express their idea. The reason why they want they want to they want to draw such kind of paintings. What is the idea expressed? What is their wish? All right. They use those poems to express their idea. Okay, so this is a poem. All most of the time, for the poem itself, it reveals um, two skills. One is a calligraphy. The other one is capability of writing a poem. Okay, so the first thing, calligraphy. The second thing, a poem. And also this one. Those are seals. In almost all, not all, I think most. In most of Chinese ancient paintings, we can see a lots of the stamps, the seals. Sometimes this seal is the artist itself. Okay, the artist when he finishes the painting, he takes out the seal and then make a print on the painting. And those seals, maybe those are the artist's names, their nicknames, or simply uh, just a symbol. Okay. Or sometimes when this piece of art is bought by someone or is collected by someone, the collector, normally the collector, he will also take out his own seal and make imprint on the paintings as well. And also maybe later time. So as we can see, we see a lots of seals. Some seals belong to the artist, some seals belong to the collectors, some seals belong to, you know, maybe the fixer, maybe the, for instance, some portion of this piece is broken, and someone came and then he fixes all the broken parts, and in the end he will also love to, you know, put his name on the surface of the painting. So we see some calligraphy, some poems, some seals, and then the painting itself. So if we see a Chinese painting, the most important thing we see is not usually is not the image itself. It's the poem, the ideas, the emotions expressed by those poems, and also his calligraphy and his capability of making a seal. Remember, almost all those seals are made by the artists themselves. Okay, so those three things come first, and then in the end, it comes the image itself. Okay, so in order to understand a Chinese painting, the first thing we should know what is written in those paintings. All right, so this is the idea. Let me repeat. In Chinese painting, we have four elements, four essential things: calligraphy, poem, seal, and also in the end, the image itself, the visual effect itself. And that's four unique elements of Chinese ancient paintings. And also, as we can see, in not all, but most of ancient Chinese paintings, uh, as we can see, those flowers, those trees, those herbs, they're not exactly realistic. Because being realistic is not their goal, is not their purpose. They're using, you know, in Chinese painting, in ancient Chinese paintings, they're being realistic is not their goal. This is not their wish. They're just using those images to express the idea, their emotions, some good wishes. For instance, they're using a bat, like the Batman bat. They're using the bat to stand for the happiness. Okay, and the interesting is that sometimes different artists, they use the same item to express different ideas. Maybe this guy using this thing to express his good wish for his friends, and the other artist came and he was using the very same item to express another idea. Maybe this time there was the idea of the fortune, a lot of money, or being healthy. You see, so symbolism in Chinese ancient paintings are common. It's a common practice. Okay. uh, so that's the that's the most important character of Chinese ancient paintings. And today we're gonna do an exercise. You see, there's a technique, as I said. You see, there are many ways, many styles of Chinese paintings. Different styles, different ways of expressing the same idea. There are many different things, different categories. But we're gonna focus on just two styles. The first thing is that how to use water. You know, they're using the water to polish the visual effect. En français, on l'appelle le lavis. C'est-à-dire, I mean, all the different colors, they're merging each other. And we don't pay attention to just the specific details. We're paying attention to how those different colors, when they merge, how do they create some other incredible visual effects, and then we go from there. Maybe we're using like an ink blot. This part of color, and based on that, maybe we're using that color, that shape of the color to change that into something else. For instance, this is the color, and then maybe at the bottom part, I add a little bit of some roots. So immediately this spot of color, it becomes maybe a small leaf, or I add 4 legs and then a pointy head. Then maybe this spot, it will turn itself into a tortoise. Okay, so we just randomly make some color spots like the ink blood. Okay, and then we turn those spots into some specific images, like turn them into tree, turn them into a mountain, turn them into different things. All right, the other style that we're gonna focus on is that the technical drawing. Okay, the left side, this painting is the typical Chinese technical drawing. All right, and the one I mentioned the first time, we call it 写意. 写意 means in this painting, the idea is more important. Okay, they're using whatever image they can build up to express the idea. Okay, so that is the literal translation of 写意. So today we're gonna do a little exercise. Let's just go over once again. Those are ancient Chinese paintings, portraits, calligraphy, image, painting, and poem, and also at the same time, this artist, he's incredible. He's incredibly talented. You see that the bamboo that he drew, it's a very neat, it's very beautiful, and also the calligraphy is also beautiful, and the poems he wrote, and the seals he made, all 4 elements, they team up together, and then finally we can get just a beautiful piece of art. Okay, by the way, his name is Qigong. We go on. You see, this is how we make a seal. All right, this is our today's job. Olivia, Donald, do you have watercolor? No.
No,
Okay.
I don't
Do you
have
have markers?
no.
No.
Okay. So then, what color pencil? Maybe.
Yes, we have some. I have some.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. What you're supposed to do is that don't pay attention to 1 or 2 details. Just pay attention to the whole group of the colors, the whole spot of color. For instance, starting from the right corner, we see turquoise, and then some parts of green, some parts of blue. Just pay attention to those different colors, and those colors, they're merging into each other. Okay, so take out your color pencil and try to recreate those colors. All right, Olivia.
So do we have to write the things with over in
No
with
Chinese
the
characters, just the image.
Oh, just the image because if
Yeah.
we want, can we do that? The Chinese.
Yeah, sure. If you like, you can try. You can try.
Okay, no problem because I have a lot of ideas. I watch
All right. When you try, I think you can also put a Chinese seal, a square or rectangle, using red color pencil. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, just try to recreate those visual effect using the best way for us is to use Chinese ink, but since we don't have paint, then we can rely on color pencils.
No problem.
Okay, let's